Hello footy fans, welcome to Bev's Footy Tips, and we've made it to the final round of the 2022 AFL season, and what a round it is set to be. I cannot think of a better round 23 than this weekend. 6 of the 9 games have implications on who plays who in the finals. I'll walk you through that in just a second. But before I do, it's time to recap the previous round. Let's begin as per usual with the tipping winner from the previous round, round 22. And it's a big congratulations to Cam, the coach of Cambodia. He correctly guessed 9 out of the 9 matches correct. Whoa, you beauty to you, Cambodia. Isn't that a country? It's a country, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I think that's a country, Cambodia. But well done. A lot of people tipped 9 out of 9 in round 22. But Cam had the best round 22 margin of those that tipped 9 out of 9. So you rip-a-dipper, Cam. And this is how the overall leaderboard looks after 22 rounds. And it's set up to be a thrilling finish. So let me walk you through it. So Cats Fan 17 leads with 139 total tips. But P. Crips Bro, he's in second also with 139 total tips. Then we've got 4 tipsters all on 138 tips. So Prout House in third, Finn Man in fourth. We've then got Matthew in fifth and then Chris Ricky in sixth. Wow, wow, wowza. I am going to be keeping a close watch on the tipping comp in the final round. Who's going to take it out? We still don't know, but right now, Cats Fan 17 is clinging on to the lead, but only just. Let's now take a look back at my round 22 tips. I tipped the Lions over the Saints. I tipped the Doggies over the Giants. And they keep their finals hopes alive. Whoa, you beauty. I tipped the Crows over the Kangaroos. I tipped Geelong over Gold Coast. I tipped Melbourne over Carlton. I tipped Fremantle over West Coast. I tipped Richmond over Hawthorn. I tipped Sydney over Collingwood. And in the final game of the round, I tipped Port Adelaide over Essendon. I've done it! I've done it! I've done it! 9 out of 9 for the first time this season. It only took until round 22. But whoa, you beauty! I got them all correct at long last. Anyway, enough of that jumping around. It's time to get down to business with round 23. And it begins on Friday night at the Gabba with a huge match. It's the Brisbane Lions taking on Melbourne at 7:50 p.m. Big game to start the round. For the winner, they make the top 4 and get the double chance. And the loser will miss out on a top 4 spot unless both Collingwood and Fremantle lose. If it's a draw, same thing. Only one of them will make the top 4, most likely Melbourne, because they've got a better percentage, unless both Fremantle and Collingwood lose. And for the winner, they can finish as high as second if results and percentage go their way. So this is a massive game to start the round. They met in round 15 at the MCG. It was a one-sided affair. Melbourne won by 64 points. Not sure if both teams have been any better since that game. Usually I'd tip the Brisbane Lions at the Gabba, but given Melbourne's record interstate, they've played 5 games interstate for 5 wins, I'm going to back in the D's to get the job done and to make the top 4 and get that double chance. And I'm going to make the margin, I think it's going to be a close game. Let's hope so anyway. I'm going to make the margin 12 points. That seems realistic, I guess. Feel like both teams need the double chance, and especially Brisbane. I think if they miss out on a top 4 spot, then I might just about be putting a line through their premiership chances. Melbourne, if they do miss out on a double chance, I probably won't put the pen through them, but I feel like both teams need the double chance if they're going to be a big threat in finals. Could be wrong though, but what a game it's going to be on Friday night. Melbourne might tip in that one. The first of the Saturday games is at Canberra Oval, aka Manuka Oval. It's the Greater Western Sydney Giants taking on Fremantle, 1:45 p.m. start time. Now, if the Dockers win, they keep their top 4 chances alive. However, they do have to rely on Collingwood and the Sydney Swans if they are to get a double chance. So, look, the Dockers, they did beat GWS quite convincingly the last time they played in round 4. It was Freo by 34 points. That was at Optus Stadium, though. But, yeah, dry conditions, I believe, in Sydney or in Western Sydney, or sorry, in Canberra. What am I talking about? In Canberra on Saturday. So, yeah, Fremantle should be too good for the Giants, I would expect. The other Saturday afternoon game is at Marvel Stadium, 2:10 p.m. start time. It's North Melbourne taking on the Gold Coast Suns. Thought North Melbourne were quite good against the Adelaide Crows last week. They did go down by 29 points, but they put up a pretty competitive showing. And they're taking on a Gold Coast Suns team who have improved this season. But I think if they're going to really cement that title, then I think they should be beating North Melbourne at Marvel on Saturday. So I am going to tip the Gold Coast Suns. They did meet back in round 12, and Gold Coast won by 62 points in Darwin at TIO Stadium. Do expect the Suns to be too good, but it probably will be a close game for the most part, but the Suns, I'm expecting they'll be a bit too classy. The Saturday twilight game is at 4:35 p.m. at GMHBA Stadium. It's Geelong taking on the West Coast Eagles. Pretty irrelevant game, this one, given Geelong have confirmed top spot and the minor premiership. West Coast surely are not going to beat Geelong at GMHBA, so have to back the Cats in. West Coast have lost 8 straight at the venue and haven't won there since 2006, so comfortably tipping Geelong. The first of 2 Saturday night matches is between Essendon and Richmond at the MCG, 7:25 p.m. start time. This match has ramifications on the final top 8 and who plays who in week 1 of the finals, because if Richmond lose, they could drop to 8th. If they win, they stay in 7th. They can't finish any higher than 7th. But if they lose, they drop to 8th, which of course would impact who they play in the finals and where they go, etc., etc. Essendon, wow, what a week it's been for them. On and off the field, of course, they had that dismal 84-point loss to Port Adelaide on Sunday. And then, of course, they've had a change in presidents. And then there's obviously some talk about Ben Rutten and Alistair Clarkson potentially coaching Essendon. So it's all happening at Bomberland. Cannot see the Bombers beating Richmond here. The Tigers should be comfortable winners on Saturday night at the home of footy. The other Saturday night match is at the Adelaide Oval, 7:30 p.m. start time. Port Adelaide taking on the Adelaide Crows. This match has no implications on the final top 8 whatsoever, but it's a showdown. So, of course, it's going to be exciting and entertaining. Of course, these two teams met back in round 3 it was, and Adelaide got the job done by 4 points thanks to Jordan Dawson kicking a goal after the siren. Adelaide, of course, have won their last 3 matches. Port Adelaide, they're coming into the match off the back of a brutal win over Essendon by 84 points, as I mentioned. This is probably going to be the match I watch out of the 2 Saturday night matches, and I'm going to tip Port Adelaide. I feel like they're the better team out of the 2. And Port Adelaide will want to send Robbie Gray out in style. So tipping Port Adelaide, but expecting an entertaining showdown. Now we move on to the Sunday games. And this is where it gets very, very interesting. It starts at UTAS Stadium in Launceston at 1:10 p.m. with Hawthorn taking on the Western Bulldogs. It's very simple for the Doggies. They win, they then jump into the top 8, and they stay there if Carlton lose. If the Dogs lose, however, that's it. Their season is done. There's absolutely zero chance they can make finals. So big game for the Doggies, not so big for Hawthorn, but they'll want to win this match in front of their Tassie fans. Now, from a Dogs fan perspective, I feel like the Doggies are a much better team than Hawthorn, and we saw that in round 15 at Marvel Stadium when the Doggies got the job done by 42 points. However, The Launceston factor worries me because Hawthorn are usually so hard to beat in Launceston. No matter where they are on the ladder, they usually are so hard to beat there. They've won 2 of 3 games there this year. They beat Brisbane and Gold Coast in those 2 games. And of course, they did beat Doggies at the venue last year. However, the Doggies have had a couple of looks at the venue in the last year. They played 2 games there last year, as I mentioned, against the Hawks. They lost that game, but then they won against Essendon in a final. So if the Dogs do lose this game, I feel like the venue can't be used as an excuse. Going to be an interesting game. I'm backing my Doggies in to get the job done and to keep their finals hopes alive. Come on, Doggies! Now we move on to the mid-Sunday afternoon match, and this game is a sellout. It's going to be a blockbuster. It could just be the biggest home and away game we've seen. It's Carlton taking on Collingwood, 3:20 p.m. at the MCG. Now, if the Dogs beat Hawthorn, Carlton must beat Collingwood to make finals, unless they lose and have a better percentage than the Dogs, but there's only 1% between the 2 teams, so that's probably looking unlikely. For Collingwood, if they win, they make the top 4 and get the double chance. So both teams playing for something in this game. Now, as a Dogs supporter, I'll be barracking for Collingwood if the Dogs are to get the job done. But also as well, Collingwood are the better team, the better form team out of the 2. Collingwood have won 11 of their last 12 games. Yes, they're coming into this off the back of a loss, but yeah, I have to back the Pies in, but I'm expecting a really, really good game of footy. I'll probably be listening to this on the radio on the drive back from Launceston. Of course, I'm going to the Hawthorn Dogs game, so yeah, what a game this could be. Now we move on to the final home and away game of season 2022, and this game also has ramifications on the final makeup of the top 8. It's St Kilda taking on the Sydney Swans at Marvel Stadium, 4:40 p.m. start time. If both Carlton and the Western Bulldogs lose, St Kilda can remarkably still make finals, but they have to beat Sydney and then boost their percentage in the process, which is going to be hard to do, and it seems unlikely. If Sydney win, then they probably finish, well, yeah, they do. They finish second on the ladder and get the home final in week 1. So big game to finish the home and away season. Tipping Sydney, they should be way too good for the Saints. They were too good for the Saints back in round 15. They won by 51 points at the SCG. And yeah, expecting the Swans to be too good again on that occasion on Sunday. So, we take a breath. And now we recap my round 23 tips. I've tipped Melbourne by 12 points. Fremantle, I've also tipped Gold Coast, Geelong, Richmond, Port Adelaide, Western Bulldogs, Collingwood, and Sydney. So if I'm correct, this is how the final top 8 will look. So we know Geelong are going to finish top. Sydney second. Melbourne third. Collingwood fourth. Then Fremantle fifth. Brisbane sixth. Richmond seventh. And then the Western Bulldogs sneaking in to the 8 in 8th spot. And then Carlton missing out. And so too St Kilda. Which means, if I'm correct, Geelong play Collingwood and Sydney play Melbourne in the 2 qualifying finals. And then in the 2 elimination finals, Fremantle host the Western Bulldogs and Brisbane host Richmond. So, if I'm correct, that's how week 1 of the finals will look. But as we know, I've been wrong on quite a few times. So there you go, footy fans. I feel like that was a massive episode of Bev's Footy Tips. I feel like I covered so much. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below your tips for the upcoming round. And don't forget to press that subscribe button. I will be doing Bev's Footy Tips throughout the final series. There's a bye next week, of course. So I'll be back in a couple of weeks with another episode of Bev's Footy Tips. And in that episode, I will announce the round 23 tipping winner as well as the overall winner. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But until then, take care. Enjoy round 23. Bye for now. Come on, the Doggies! And come on, Collingwood!